I'm taller than anybody else.
Okay. All right, everybody, welcome back to the
Cockadoodle Crew.
Yeah, welcome back to the Cockadoodle Crew channel. Tonight's video we're going to shoot for you is an update on our garden that you saw us plant here last week, and also on the what we call the baby chicken operation out there. Some of them aren't so baby anymore. So anyway, we just want to show you where we're at. It has been raining cats and dogs for, I don't know, 10 days or maybe a little bit longer. And so we have some issues with all that rain and mud we've been dealing with. And I want to show you what happened with the garden on that. So anyway, hang with us here and we're going to take you along and show you around the Cockadoodle Crew farm. And you can see what all this mud is, problems it's causing us here lately. So thanks for tuning in, and let's ride along.
Cockadoodle Crew! Cockadoodle Crew! Cockadoodle Crew!
Okay. All right, guys, we're out here in the garden, and you saw us working on mudding in all these plants, and we thought we had mud before, but no, that was just that wasn't even close to what we're dealing with now. So it's been raining for a week and about 4 days, almost every day, and we've gotten big old downpours in the middle of all that. So this garden is getting taken over by some weeds already. I'm actually having my little tiller worked on right now. The potatoes are looking real good. The video kind of flattens things out, but they're sticking up tall. I could put some more straw in there if I wanted to. And the turnips and radishes are, again, planted way too close and going crazy. But we did do some mashed radish, kind of like mashed potatoes recipe with our radishes, and it turned out real nice. So that was the idea. And you can get down in there and see that we've got some radishes growing, but those plants were put in way too thick. Anyway, we haven't quite got to the problem areas yet. My wife's got some herbs growing here, some mint, yeah, things like that. And over here I have some peppers. They're looking all right. These pepper plants are looking pretty good in here. These are my jalapenos over here by themselves. But the main thing I wanted to show you here is, okay, here's one of our nicer tomatoes. We bought a higher end start here, and this one's doing okay, looking nice and dark green. It's a Black Prince. And I have a real nice black cherry the same way. But take a look at that. It is getting dark yellow, dark yucky green.
That one.
And that was a habanero pepper and another habanero pepper. And these guys are just dying. I'm sure they've had way too much water and they're drowning. But I hope I'm not having trouble with using this wood chips.
This one has a flower.
Yeah, they've got a flower. I hope I'm not having trouble with using wood chips as a pathway covering here and creating a little T that's sort of dangerous for these. Here, we're going to go in here. Excuse me, girls. We're going to go in here and look at these tomatoes I planted under my wooden A-frame trellis. And if they haven't died completely, like this one here,
and this one here,
then they're not looking very good at all.
and this one.
So we put a lot of effort into getting this garden put in before all this rain, and these poor plants have just sat here and drowned. So that's been a bummer. And we did put in a lot of plants to begin with, so there's still some, like maybe this one here could come out of it if it could get some sun and dry out. The top is green, the under parts are yellow here. Like that one there is trying to do something, but these things just look terrible.
This one, it looks so good.
I was hoping we'd be in a lot better shape by now. The peppers don't seem quite as affected by the water, So these pepper starts we put in have done a little bit of growing.
Look, this a black pepper that looks like this is growing.
Okay, that's a tomato. That's a Roma tomato. So that's been interesting to see that the peppers have done a lot better job with all this rain. But you can see that pepper looks pretty good.
Look, Dad.
Yeah, that's a weed there. That's a weed. Can you find a nice squash that's growing somewhere? I see one in the next hill over. Yep, you see it? Point it out. Oh yeah, she's got it there. So that's a squash or zucchini seed that's come up for us during all this, and there's just a couple of them. They really haven't had much for sun, not much for warmth. Yep, she's finding a good one here. Squash or zucchini, and that one's looking healthy. But overall, this rain has been so damaging to our tomato plants. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up all these little forlorn looking plants. But we're not really seeing our cucumber seeds come up yet that we put in down here. I was hoping these tomatoes would flourish. And some of them are just barely surviving. So this is not encouraging for this time of the season.
This one likes it.
Okay, yeah, that one's doing pretty good, isn't it?
There's four. There's four.
Yeah, so here's one set of tomatoes that's still doing about as good as they were when we put them in, but they haven't at least died off. And that has been an issue.
Going over here.
So we've got some volunteer stuff that's coming up. That's got to be, I'm not sure, pumpkin or a squash or a gourd or something in that family.
Peas. There's the peas.
We've got more peppers, and these appear to have been eaten on already by something. Maybe those little flying moths or something have done that. But what's that right there?
What is it?
Do you see it? Point it out. Yep, there's another squash or zucchini. We do have a few of those coming up. So this garden here, after a week of drowning rain, the amounts, there's probably a little bit of argument about it. High end estimates, maybe 2 feet of rain. I'll get my feet all wet for you here, but you can still see there's water standing out here. So at least 16 inches, maybe 18 inches. I would not be surprised if they said there was 2 foot of rain since 2 Fridays ago that has rained out here. Rained some today. And oh yeah, Kiki can get your hair. Okay, should we go show them the chicken stuff next? So basically we're gonna have to just wait and see if it starts drying out and getting sunny, you know, what's gonna live, what we're gonna replace. I do have some sweet potatoes to put in down here in this more open spot. That's at this end, but I'm not gonna mess with it yet because it's just gonna be pure mud out there. So we better get Kiki moving. She's ready to go.
Daddy, wait!
Okay, come on. Come on. Watch out for those tomato cages. They're pokey on the bottom. Okay, we're gonna get going and go check out the chicken operations out at the stock trailer. Show you the update on that.
Daddy, are you?
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay, so here we're out at the stock trailer chicken coop, and this, you have watched along on our videos how we got started with this, with the baby chicks. This would have been back in early March, and we had the the 100 babies that we bought. We had about 18 that we incubated halfway through February. So we have gotten a lot of use out of this so far. I can give you some updates on how it's working for us and some things we still need to do. And so you can see I've installed a light here, so at night I can come out here by the door and see where I'm going. It has a bulb that is a dawn to dusk bulb. It's about $8. Got it at home base there in Ottawa, and that's really nice. So the fixture doesn't have to be dawn to dusk. I can just leave it plugged in and turned on, but it's not gonna turn on until it gets dark out. It'll stay on all night. So I like that. We'll show you inside the coop here and kind of give you some more details as we go. Do you want to stand up in there? All right, so what do we got going on in here?
Oh, there's just chicken sitting and hanging and
All right, be nice.
It's my bread. It's bready.
Is that Brady's baby?
Yeah.
So as you can see in here, we have a straw base for the floor. The problem in this stock trailer chicken coop so far is that there is leakiness to this roof. It is not a tight, watertight roof, and so it makes it difficult to keep this floor from getting really nasty when there's a bunch of chickens in here and they're pooping, and then the floor is wet and the environment's wet. So that is a big priority. We got to get this roof worked on. So recently I have installed a roosting bar, just one big roost in here. I wasn't really set up yet for the full roost setup, but I had this real long 2x2, so we put it up with some brackets, and the birds are going in, lining up there at night. And this looks kind of yucky here. The chickens are sitting on top of my lid, but under here we're having about 25, I think 24 now, baby chicks that we're buying from Orchlands there in Ottawa, and they are they're the end of the run, the end of the season, and so the price is good on them, and they're trying to get rid of the older birds as they're getting it to the end of their run and their season. And I'll explain why I end up buying more here in a couple of minutes. But these are 24 barred rocks and buff Orpingtons that are chilling in here in the rubber tub. And luckily, even though that looks yucky on top, the poop can't really get through down to them. But the other chickens are sitting on there at night and messing it up. So. So anyway. Okay, let's go outside. You can catch some outside.
I can't catch them outside.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't catch those ones.
You always catch them outside. All right, little girl's getting fussy in her stroller there. All right, so you watched me put the chicken door in this coop, and that's working out great. In fact, they go in and out all the time. They really know where home is, and they go in and out all the time out of there. So I have recently been using these Little Giant free-range chicken feeders, and I really like them for this application out here. I keep them underneath the overhang of this stock trailer, and that keeps the food pretty well dried off, and the waste doesn't seem nearly as bad as the other type of feeders I was using. So these are the birds that you can see the size here. These are the ones that were born basically March 1st, and today is May 20 something. We're in late May, and so you can see this is a 3-month-old bird almost, and they're looking like almost full size, really. I mean, the body size is getting up there, and they've done real well for us. So out of our original batch of birds that was about 120, we have advertised some on Facebook, and we have helped other people start their flocks out of this batch of birds. And I want to say we sold 40 some to 50 some rehomed them basically so that people could start their flocks. As they were getting popular with people asking me if they could buy them, and I still have a couple more people to supply to that are getting their coops ready, I got nervous that we were going to not have enough chickens of our own that we wanted to have for our purposes in the fall and having a bunch of egg layers. So that's why I started getting more chickens as the end runs were becoming available, like at Orchlands in Ottawa. So what do we have in here? Oh, look, we've got some about 1 month old or 3 week old, 1 month old chicks out here. And this was another batch that I had gotten from Orchlands when they were ready to get rid of their older birds because the younger ones were coming in. And so that's something just to keep in mind. If you have a relationship with people at the stores you shop at and you stop in and you're checking on things, you know, I was able to get a deal on these birds because they were ready to get rid of them, and I was there at the right day at the right time. But it gave me a chance to restock.
I got a present,
Okay. It gave me a chance to restock our operation here with some birds and at a good price. I paid more initially for this special order of all these back in the beginning of March, but once you know, once you're getting to the end of the season and people aren't buying them as much, I was able to get those other ones at a good deal. And of course, it's just whatever breeds they happen to have on hand. And so that's what we've got. We've got some more barred rocks and some production reds, maybe some Rhode Island reds in there. I'm not sure what all we got. But we do like being able to supply friends with some birds that are out of the baby zone, and we know they're up and running for them, and so they can come and pick out a little flock to put in their backyard. So that's been kind of fun. You'll see the mud out here. This stock trailer chicken coop should have been moved right before all the rain. I was real concerned about getting the garden in, and so that was my main goal, was to get that garden put in, which sort of backfired because the excessive amount of rain has killed off a bunch of the plants I spent time working on. But I should have got this stock trailer moved because the ground around is basically destroyed now, and you know, it just would have been a lot better to move it while it was dry with the truck to a new area and let them start over on fresh grass when all the rain was coming in, because it's been a muddy mess for them over these last couple weeks. So I think we have about somewhere around 60-ish of these more mature birds.
68?
I don't think it's 68, but
67?
I would say 60 something. And it's been kind of hard to keep track throughout the whole process. When you get this many birds going, it's kind of difficult to remember and very difficult to count them all. But we have production reds or Isa Brown birds here. Calico Princess would be these girls here with the spots on their neck. This one here, maybe somebody can put in the comments. I forget the Calico Princess with the white, kind of half white and half golden color. We've had some black sex links along the way. This white one here is a California white, and there's only one of those. I ordered 5, I think, to begin with originally, and only one of them lived. I think this bird here is a starlight green egger, and there's a prettier version of it somewhere else, but they're supposed to be giving us a mint green egg. I don't know if I'll be able to find one of them. Of course, we got a couple barred rocks that a friend of ours couldn't have any in town, so they kind of asked us if we would give them a nice home. But I think these couple there in the camera shot are the starlight green egger. They've got kind of a dark brown and black combination, and they're maybe more of an egg-colored bird than the feather colors. So anyway, we've got still a couple of our original hatchlings left that we hatched, like this Swedish flower mix rooster. We're probably going to try to hang on to him. We've got a big Turkin rooster around somewhere with some pretty colors. Oh, there he is. Yep, so this guy has got to hang around here. So out of our original batch of incubated eggs, we probably had, maybe 8 roosters, and now we've got 3 left of those, because when we were helping people start their flocks, you know, I would offer 4 or 5 hens, 6 hens, and then little pullets really, and a rooster, so that people could get started with their backyard flocks. But this all looks like a muddy mess, but that's what I wanted to show you tonight, is that this is the unglamorous side of chicken keeping here. When the rains came and I didn't have my my setup moved, you can see my water barrel's outside now because it didn't need to be in there anymore. Okay, there's our other rooster. So the birds are doing well, but they've had to deal with the challenge of all this mud. As you can see here in the yard, oh, it's nasty. All right, so a couple other things I want to mention about our chicken operation is that, you know, we're still using that Valley R feed, and I really like it. It just seems like ground up grains, and that's one of the things I really like about it. It doesn't seem like anything other than ground up grain, and the chickens eat it real well. I still have been buying the real high percentage stuff, and I'm about ready to switch to the lower percentage. And that's kind of a funny story I'll have to tell you about sometime. But anyway, reading the notes on the package, and I just read it wrong. So I've been feeding this chick starter basically this whole time, and so they've been getting a lot of protein, that's for sure. But anyway, we're going to switch to the 17% here and get those birds onto that feed. The Premier One netting that you can see out there is really still working great. It gives me a lot of flexibility. I love that it's not permanent, it's temporary. We can move it around and change it up as we need. There is that little chicken tractor that I showed you with those 3-week-old birds in it. That's turned out to be a really versatile unit. So we've raised meat birds in there. Last year we had our younger chickens in it, and now I was able to separate those babies out from the 2-week-old birds up to those 3 weeks to a month-old birds, where the size difference was kind of too much for them being in that rubber tub together. So anyway, it's warm enough now. They're okay to be out, and they're on the grass, and they've got more room, and they got a space of their own. So anyway, that's the updates on the chicken stuff and the garden stuff, and we're just kind of sticking with it here through the mud and the nastiness, and hopefully we'll have prettier, better, more fun things to talk about here in the next couple of weeks as it recovers from all this rain. But anyway, thanks for checking in with us. A lot of talking on this video, not much showing you, but I hope you'd like to catch up with us and see how we're doing out here on the Cockadoodle Crew farm. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, do whatever, all that kind of stuff. We're gaining a few people. It's kind of fun to see that grow. So anyway, have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.